Only one country has ever come close to spending $1 trillion on its military in a single year. This is the story of who spent the most, who collapsed trying to keep up, and who is quietly closing the gap right now. It's 1900. Britain rules the seas. The two-power standard. Their navy must outgun any two rivals combined. Germany is watching. Kaiser Wilhelm wants his own global fleet. The arms race begins. Russia is rearming after losing its entire Pacific fleet to Japan in 1905. France. Austria-Hungary. Everyone is rearming. America watches from the sidelines, protected by two oceans. By 1913, Germany and Britain alone are spending what would equal $50 billion a year in today's money, just trying to outbuild each other at sea. The tension is visible in every budget line. Then in 1914, the powder keg explodes. World War I mobilizes entire economies for industrial-scale killing. Military budgets quintuple overnight. Then in 1917, the United States enters, and almost immediately becomes the largest military spender on Earth. The American industrial machine, untouched on its own soil, outproduces everyone. By 1918, it's over. Armistice. Exhausted nations cut spending as fast as they can. The world believes it has learned its lesson. It hasn't. Through the 1920s, cuts continue across the board. But in the shadows, Germany is secretly rearming. Then, in January 1933, Hitler takes power. Within months, the secret becomes open and aggressive. By 1936, Germany is spending more on its military than Britain and France combined. The democracies scramble to catch up, but they are already behind. 1939. The Second World War begins. And this time, the scale of spending dwarfs everything before it. The United States, once again protected by its geography, converts its enormous economy into the most powerful war machine in history. By 1944, America alone spends $900 billion in constant 2023 money. In a single year. That number has never been matched since. Half the world's military spending comes from one country, the Manhattan Project. Lend-Lease, carrier battle groups, the entire Allied war effort bankrolled by one nation. 1945. Victory. The most dramatic military demobilization in history follows. America slashes its budget by 80% in 4 years. The war is over. Time to build houses, not tanks. But the peace doesn't hold. In 1949, the Soviet Union tests its first nuclear bomb. In 1950, Korea erupts. The Cold War, which had been ideological, is suddenly a shooting war. American spending reverses and climbs again. The pattern is now set for the next 40 years. In 1957, the Soviets launch Sputnik, a beach ball in orbit, but it signals they can put a warhead anywhere on Earth. America panics. Spending surges again. NASA is born. The arms race goes orbital. Through the 1960s, Vietnam bleeds America dry. 58,000 dead. Hundreds of billions spent for complicated results. The Soviet Union watches and keeps building steadily. Through the 1970s, brief détente brings hope. It doesn't last. Ronald Reagan takes office in 1981 with a simple message. America will outspend the Soviet Union into collapse. Star Wars. The Strategic Defense Initiative. Whether it was technically feasible almost didn't matter, the Soviets had to respond. By 1987, Soviet military spending reaches $450 billion in constant terms. A crushing burden for an economy roughly half the size of America's. The math is unsustainable. 4 years later, the Soviet Union ceases to exist. Russia's military budget crashes from $200 billion to under $30 billion in 8 years. A superpower disappears from the chart. The 1990s are the closest the world comes to genuine disarmament. Every major power cuts. Russia barely survives as a state. China quietly begins its own buildup. Almost nobody is paying attention. Then September 11, 2001. Everything changes overnight. America's budget, which had fallen to $400 billion, begins climbing immediately and doesn't stop for a decade. Iraq. Afghanistan. A global war on terror with no defined endpoint. By 2008, American spending reaches $780 billion, the second highest in history after World War II. But here is what the headlines miss. While America fights 2 land wars in the Middle East, China doubles its military budget every 5 years. $40 billion in 2001, $200 billion by 2011, $300 billion by 2015. Almost no one in the Western press is paying attention to this chart. In 2012, Xi Jinping takes power with a clear public goal. China will become a world-class military power by 2049, the 100th anniversary of the People's Republic. The budget keeps climbing, 6 to 8% every single year without exception, regardless of what the global economy is doing. Meanwhile, American spending begins declining. The wars wind down, budget pressure mounts. The gap narrows every year. Then February 24, 2022.
Russia invade Ukraine.
Europe wakes up overnight. Germany announces the Zeitenwende, a historic turning point. The defense budget doubles. Finland and Sweden join NATO. Poland commits 4% of GDP. Japan quietly breaks its post-war constitutional limit and doubles its own defense spending. By 2026, China sits at $790 billion. America at $840 billion. The gap that once seemed insurmountable, when America was spending 5 times more than China, is now $50 billion. Less than 5%. Does the biggest spender always win? The Soviet Union spent itself to bankruptcy. America spent $8 trillion on the war on terror with complicated results. Military spending has never, by itself, determined the outcome of history. But the countries at the top of this chart are not there by accident. They made a choice about what they fear and what kind of world they are preparing for. The next 20 years will answer whether that choice was right.